In the beautiful village of Owerri, there lived a man called Okonkwo. He was a well-known farmer, quiet, respectful, and hardworking. His wife, Choma, was a kind woman. They had 3 beautiful daughters, all strong and healthy. Their home was peaceful and beautiful, but after many years with no son, people started talking. A home without a son is not complete. You need someone to carry the family lineage. By the time you must have joined your ancestors. Okonkwo's mother said, Choma is a good woman, but maybe there is a reason why the gods has refused to give her a son. Take another wife, my son, she added. At first, he ignored his mother's advice, but as time passed, the pressure grew. He began to think maybe she is right. One day, he went to a New Yam festival in the next village. At the festival, he saw a young woman named Amara. She was beautiful. Her smile was soft. Her voice was gentle. She greeted Okonkwo with respect and helped him serve palm wine to the elders. After the festival, Okonkwo couldn't get Amara off his mind. He asked quietly about her, who her people were, how she was raised, and everywhere he turned was the same thing. People said she was humbled and well-trained. For a man like Okonkwo, who was tired of the pressure to take another wife, it felt like an answered prayer. So one quiet evening, about 2 market days after the festival, Okonkwo dressed neatly and made his way to Amara family's house. He didn't bring a crowd, just a small keg of palm wine and a bag of kola nuts. Amara's father welcomed him kindly. They sat under a mango tree while the evening breeze blew gently. After the greetings and small talk, Okonkwo cleared his throat. I won't speak in riddles, Papa, he said. Your daughter caught my eyes at the festival, but it was what I heard about her afterwards that touched my heart. Okonkwo turned to Amara, who stood by the doorway. They say you are humble, that you are peaceful, that your words can calm a room. I am a man with children already, but I still desire peace in my home. I came to ask if you will allow me take you as my wife. There was silence, only sound of birds returning to their nest. Amara didn't rush to speak. She looked at her father, who nodded gently. Then she stepped forward and spoke with a calm voice. I do not want trouble in my life. I do not want to fight with any woman. I only pray to enter a home where I can serve well and raise children in peace, especially a baby boy. And with that simple answer, the matter was settled. 2 days later, Okonkwo brought her to his compound. Choma, his wife, welcomed her, even though it broke her heart to pieces. She smiled, cooked for the guests, and shared her kitchen with her. But deep down inside, something didn't feel right. At first, Amara behaved well. She woke up early, swept the compound, and joined Choma in preparing the food. She even played with the girls. But slowly, things started to change. The first sign was silence, not the normal kind, but a strange, heavy silence that settled over the compound like harmattan dust. No laughter, no bird sound, no breeze. Even the trees stopped swaying. Then strange things began to happen. Okonkwo's daughter, Adeora, came crying one morning. Her wrapper was missing from where she hung it to dry. Choma searched the whole backyard, but they couldn't find it. Choma found it later, tied around a stone, buried halfway under the fire pile. Nobody said anything, but Choma's mother, who was visiting that week, just shook her head and said, this kind of things doesn't happen for nothing. From that day, strange things kept happening. One morning, Choma boiled water to bathe the children. She poured it into a bucket and left it to cool. When she returned, the water had turned black, like someone poured charcoal inside, and there was a dead lizard floating on top. Choma's heart skipped. She didn't say anything. She just threw the water away. Okonkwo was no longer himself. He stayed out late and stopped doing his morning prayers. The kola nut and palm oil he normally used just stayed there untouched. He would shout at the children over small things. Even Choma couldn't talk to him freely again. He would snap at any small question. Leave me alone. Must you talk every time? Choma knew something wasn't right. Okonkwo used to be very gentle, calm and playful, but now he hardly smiled. Choma made prayers and offering to her ancestors. Still, things got worse. One night, Choma woke up thirsty. She stepped out quietly to fetch water from the clay pot outside. But as she passed back of the house, she heard whispers. She looked through the small space between the wall and the kitchen hut. Right there, she saw Amara sitting alone, talking into the small black pot placed on the ground. Her eyes were closed, her face covered in white marks. There were feathers and strange leaves around her. Choma froze. She turned back slowly and went back inside without making a sound. The next morning, she packed her things and took her 3 daughters to her brother's house in another village. When she got there, she explained everything to her brother. The next day, Choma's brother took her to see a well-known prophetess named Mama Ejike. The woman didn't ask many questions. She poured water into a calabash and looked deep into it. After a few minutes, she spoke. The woman your husband brought into his home is not ordinary. She is a witch. She came to drain his strength and scatter your family. There is something under your roof that needs to be exposed, she said. Mama Ejike gave her herbs and some instructions. Go back home, but don't go alone. Choma returned to the village with a priest and her brother and 2 elders. They arrived at night and entered without any notice. Choma went straight into the children's hut. She noticed a strange odor coming out from the hut. When she moved the mat, she saw a black calabash, small and round, tied with red thread and wrapper. The wrapper is part of her old wrapper. She froze. The same wrapper that went missing weeks ago. She didn't touch it. 2 elders wrapped it carefully without breaking the thread and took it to the most powerful chief priest in the village. When they got there, the chief priest unwrapped it slowly, sniffed it and said, this was planted into a man's heart to make him miserable and useless in life, to divide a home and to close the womb of the first wife. Choma couldn't believe it, but in her spirit she already knew. By the time they arrived home, Okonkwo had collapsed. He was unconscious for 2 days. Choma didn't sleep. She sat beside him, praying with her lips and tears. When he woke up, he blinked and looked around slowly, like someone who had just returned from a long dark place. His voice was faint, almost like a whisper. Choma, where am I? What happened to me? He said. You are awake. Thank God you are finally awake. I saw strange things, he said. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I heard people, but I couldn't talk. I felt like something was pressing me down. He grabbed Choma's hand. Choma, please forgive me. I don't know what came over me. I pushed you away. I shouted and left you in pain. Choma looked at him. Her heart was heavy, but she nodded. It wasn't you. It was what you brought into our home. Tears rolled down Okonkwo's cheek. He buried his face in Choma's lap and cried like a child. Forgive me, please forgive me. She placed her hand on his head and whispered, let the spirit judge between us. I have no hate in my heart. You are my husband, and I will still pray for you and wish you well. Outside the room, the chief priest stood silently near the doorway. He smiled faintly and said, the chain is broken. From this day, no woman shall ever turn his head with charms again. Amara confessed all her evil deeds in front of the elders. She admitted to using charms to bewitching Okonkwo and poisoning his food. Right there and then, she was struck with madness. She began shouting, tearing her clothes, and speaking things no one could understand. The villagers watched in silence. By evening, she was banished from the village. Peace slowly returned to Okonkwo's family. He knelt before Choma and begged her for forgiveness. The children ran to him and hugged him tight. That night, for the first time in many months, they sat together, ate together as one family. Laughter returned, and so did peace. What is built with charm will fail, but a home built with truth and patience will stand the test of time. Please, if this story touches your heart, Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more interesting story. Thank you for watching. Bye.